What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Just pulled up to the gym. I'm gonna be taking y'all through my chest workout today. Now, I haven't actually said this out loud, but I'm actually gonna be doing a high rocks in November. So today's actually my second workout of the day. First one today was a full-on 90-minute high rock circuit, so I'm feeling absolutely depleted from that. Compound that with the fact that I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. It was a late night. All right, enough said, but no excuses, right? Got to get the workout in no matter what. But yeah, hopefully y'all are able to take away some tips from today's workout, and let's go ahead and let's get straight into the video. So any upper body day, like to start off with just a dynamic warm up here with the resistance band. Nothing too crazy. All right, so some band pull aparts just to get the rear delts going, and then just like a little rotator cuff, trying to keep my elbows here as close as possible, and just coming out to the side. Okay, just like that. Nothing too crazy. Quick 4 or 5 minutes of warm up, and then getting into the first movement. So let's do it.
Whenever I'm with you, I am alright. There's something about the way you make me feel inside.
This machine is brand new.
Down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me.
Yeah, so even though it's a chest day today, of course, but you know, starting off with rear delts, you're just gonna get a lot better stability in the back of the shoulder, right? And so especially now, I'm not doing as much straight hypertrophy work now that I'm kind of going into this bulk. It's a lot more strength focused, especially for like my first compound movement. So starting off with the rear delts, just make sure that everything back here is just properly engaged. It just makes everything feel a lot stronger and a lot more stable as well.
This could be magical.
Rear delt fly is obviously a very simple exercise. I think it's one of the most common exercises that people will mess up. Because a lot of times what happens is they'll go all the way back. All right, they squeeze their shoulder blades all the way back. But what you're doing when you do that is you're engaging a lot of the upper back as well. Okay, so when I come on here, I get onto the bench, I actually slightly round my back forward a little bit, and I focus on only utilizing the rear delt, right? You got to remember, the rear delt is a very small muscle on the back of the shoulder. Okay, it doesn't take a lot to activate it. It doesn't take a lot of weight. Once you start going too heavy, you start engaging a lot of other muscles, and at that point it becomes an upper back exercise instead of rear delt exercise. So just use slow and controlled movements and focus on really isolating that back there.
Are the one who makes me feel as good as I do. Baby, I wanna still act like we are 22 right now.
All right, y'all, we're moving on to a flat bench press up next. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty beat from the first workout today, so gonna try and push as much weight as I can. Sometimes those are just the best workouts, you know? Gonna start off with just the bar, and then hopefully work up to something respectable. We'll see. Nice and controlled. Just start bringing the bar down to that lower nipple line. Okay, really pushing through the palm of the hand. You know, a lot of times people get on the bench and they start just like repping it out like that. You want to make sure that you're practicing quality reps.
I keep it locked away. My friends think that this is over. Guess it's
Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Kind of slowly working up, you know. Never skip your warm-ups, especially on a movement like the bench press, you know. It's so easy to just like injure yourself. So really want to make sure that you're being methodical and intentional with your movements. You know, there's one thing about like gym culture specifically that I feel like has kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I've kind of alluded to this in previous videos, is like, it feels like everybody in here is just like so performative all the time, and it's just like me. And it's like, yeah, like obviously I'm a content creator. Obviously I enjoy filming and making the videos and like documenting and showing and educating. But at the same time, I don't really feel like I necessarily relate or associate myself with a lot of the people here, if that makes sense. I kind of just try to like stay in my own lane and just focus on the things that I'm trying to do instead of just like posting and like making videos for like the validation of others, if that makes sense. As far as what's in the shaker, it's just electrolytes today. So I actually slammed a sim-free pre-workout earlier because it's currently 7:45 p.m. and I'm trying to sleep tonight. So sim-free pre, a little bit of electrolytes in here. So the pump should be like pretty solid. All right, 205 on the bar.
Hear what I say without even speaking. My compass is off, why did I choose you? I'm just too lost, I need to cut loose. I keep it in my head, I keep it locked in.
It's not bad. Not bad for 3 hours of sleep. Second workout, so I'll take it.
It's the price I paid, played with the enemy. Now I got you on my shoulders. Let go and let
So, surplus, not bad. That's what we're dealing with. Probably like 11 or 12% body fat. But I think one of the hardest things for sure is just like, you know, waking up every morning and you just see like maybe one less ab or one less shoulder striation. But considering I haven't really put my body in like a muscle building state for 2 years, you know, it's like, it's a part of the process and it's necessary if you're like really trying to grow. So weight in the palm of the hand, feet back.
fall out of love as it's supposed to. This was a phase that I was a mistake. But I can't move on with something in these days. Let go.
So I think that was a little better. Yeah, it's not bad. Finished up 3 sets on bench, okay? Main strength movement, done. All right, so we did our pre-exhaust, we did our main strength movement, and then the rest of the workout, because I'm tired, and I'm like I'm dragging today, like actually dragging today. I'm gonna keep it pretty rapid fire and just like keep it going, keep it moving, get a good pump. I'm gonna finish with a lighter weight here, so I'm probably just gonna rep out 135 until failure, and then move on and keep the workout going. So.
Doesn't want to say no more, 'cause the sun has made it clear. I used to have it hanging on my wall some time ago. Picture of you. A picture of you. A picture of you. A picture of you.
It's kind of light. Oh. A second movement of the workout, I like to do kind of like a dumbbell incline fly hybrid. It's kind of what I call it. So it's not entirely a dumbbell press. It's also not entirely a dumbbell fly. Okay. When I sit down here on the bench, I keep a nice tall chest, shoulders pinned back. Okay. And instead of like a regular fly where my arms are completely straight, okay, I have a slight bend in my arm. All right, that's gonna bring in just a little bit of the tricep, okay? So it allows you to go heavy and still feel like a really good stretch at the bottom, but at the same time, you're getting a little bit like tricep activation. So it's a really good movement, and my chest is definitely literally blown up since I started doing these. So I would highly recommend probably like 3 sets of 15 to 20, around there I'd probably say. So 55s, ideally like 10 to 15 here. Hardest part's really just getting the chest in the right spot. Chest nice and tall. Good stretch at the bottom, slight bend in the elbow. Squeeze at the top. Okay. Slow 2 to 3 second eccentric. Everybody likes to rush their movements. Okay. Control every rep. And I promise you, you'll see the most amount of gains. Good stretch and good. Don't drop the weights like that though. That's how you break them.
Can't say I like it, but I can fight it. Some things are not meant to be, even if it's hard to see. I'll try.
I'm beat. Absolutely beat right now. Now let's turn this into like a motivational type of thing, but I do feel as if for somebody that wants to see like the maximum amount of gains possible. All right, let's just say you're like, you want to get in the gym, you want to crush it, you want to do your best, you want to just like elevate, get that physique, do whatever it takes. Obviously, if you're working a job, there's going to be days you're tired, right? There's going to be days where you simply do not have the energy to show up to the gym. When I think back on my journey the last 6 years, those sessions, right, the ones where I'm tired, the ones where I don't want to show up, the ones where I don't want to push, I feel like each time it just like reiterated that identity of like who I am in the gym and like what I'm trying to do. Because eventually you do that like so many times that even on a day like today, there's just no question, right? There's no question that I'm not gonna come here and get a good workout, and there's no question that I'm not gonna push myself. Yeah, I'm not feeling 100%, but it's just not in my DNA anymore. It's not a part of my identity anymore to skip that workout, all right? Do that over a long enough time frame, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and you'll be surprised where you end up. All right, workout's like halfway done. Chest is not necessarily a day that like takes too long. I think I'm usually like in and out of the gym in like 45-ish minutes. I'm thinking for today, definitely just like keeping it to just chest, of course, because fatigued and whatever. But I'm gonna go here to gym 3, finish up probably with a chest fly, and then maybe a like a press of some sort. So, all right. Yeah, this one really forces you to like squeeze, like bringing the biceps together and forward. Yeah, this is good. I feel like the risk of injury is lower too. Ugh. I feel like the thickness is coming back though. So that's good. Biceps peak. It's my waist though. My waist gets like chopped cheese. Yeah. So this is a scenario where I think the weight's a little bit too heavy, because as I start kind of reaching failure, I start losing the connection with my chest. So like, even though I was able to like crank out a few reps, I think the smart move would probably be to just drop the weight and focus on higher quality reps. We're good on that. One more movement. You been over here yet? Should we go explore a little bit and see what's up? Oh, they're gonna put like a. Okay. Is it actually? Nope. Does it say Hyrox? Hey. It's my sign. Okay, the Hyrox side. That's cool. That's cool. Maximum range of motion. All right, a lot of these chest machines in here. This is like pretty universal across most gyms. You just don't get enough range of motion, primarily on a machine like this, where like I'm at the bottom and I'm maxing it out. So if you take a foam roller And this kind of applies to like any cable movement or any like machine where you're not really getting enough range of motion. You're kind of just gonna like put it right here, all right? So the hardest part here is just getting into position, okay? But once I'm here, just getting a really good squeeze at the top. Really focusing on just bringing the biceps together. Slow eccentric. Just focusing on like a really deep stretch.
I could talk to you for hours and we stay.
Really focusing on getting like my elbows behind my body. Really squeezing at the top.
I don't know why I threw away what we had. What's wrong with me? I don't know why
Especially on like these last few movements, I'm a lot more like inclined to kind of like take them all the way to failure. Only because, right, I've already done the whole workout, and especially like here being at the very end, I'm just trying to just put the chest through as much stress as possible.
picture of you.
Let's finish with some push-ups. All right, a lot of times, you know, people don't necessarily do push-ups very often. I just like it as a kind of like a last minute burnout. Thinking just 2 sets for today. And one thing I really like to do is force eccentrics. So once I go to failure and I can't get the weight up, I'll bring down my knees, push myself up, bring my knees up, and then, yeah, let me show you real quick. Just taking the push-ups, nice and controlled. Failure, bring the knees down, bring myself up. I feel like I have like nothing else to give. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, y'all, that's gonna conclude today's workout. So just a quick rundown for y'all. All right, starting off with rear delts. Make sure everything is properly engaged, right? Then go into your main compound movement. Bench press, dumbbell incline press, dumbbell flat press, whatever the case may be. Follow that with some incline movement. A lot of times the upper chest is really lacking for most people. After that, finishing up with the fly movement and then burning out with push-ups, okay? So that's kind of what I do. I don't claim to have all the answers. I do speak from years of personal experience, but if y'all have any better tips, any suggestions, any exercises that you enjoy, make sure to drop a comment and let me know, because I'm always open to new ideas. But hope y'all were able to get something from the workout. And I'm gonna go home and get some sleep, because I feel like I put in some work today, so feels good though.